2021 is setting off to be one of the greatest years ever to start your own dealership. And if you want to learn why 2021 is going to be one of the record sales years for dealers all over the United States, I'm going to explain that right now. Hello, I'm Dallas Johnson with the Dealer Training Podcast, and I want to welcome you. If you're a licensed dealer or maybe you're interested in obtaining your dealer's license for the very first time, our podcast is just for you. So please consider hitting that notification button. Obviously, 2020 was a very unique year. And, if you haven't heard, we've had this virus thing going around that affected the operation of every business. It had a huge impact on dealers, and several states actually required dealers to close their doors for a couple of months. And by the way, I know a lot of dealers that were not able to make it through the COVID crisis because they had large floor plans on their inventory. And a floor plan is a loan for your inventory. And the dealers that had these large floor plans on their inventory were not able to make payments on their floor plans when they were shut down. So some floor planners actually repossessed all the vehicles on the lot. And I always advise you to keep your debt low. I think every dealer should have a goal to have a cash inventory, which obviously means that you do not owe anything on your inventory. And as misfortunate as this was for dealers that had too much debt, this has resulted in many empty dealer lots that have been occupied for years and now are actually available for the first time. So if you are wanting to get your dealer's license and you've not been able to find a lot, now is one of the best times ever to find that location to start your dealership. If you're not sure where to go, I always recommend burning a tank or two of gas, drive around your city or your county, and you will find a location to start this business. So why is 2021 really one of the greatest years yet to either start or expand your dealership? There are many factors that lead me to stating this. First of all, we have several brand new sectors of our market. We have millions of people that have taken mass transit for years, and now they've decided that they don't want to sit on a bus, with 50 other people. They now realize they do have the means to purchase their own vehicles, and they may never want to use public transportation again. So in just a moment, I'm going to explain how almost every person that's currently using public transportation is getting money from the federal government, and they can't pay large amounts of cash for vehicles. And I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. The decline of rideshare apps. I'm not going to mention the name of rideshare apps. You know who they are, but rideshare app has dropped 70 to 80% at the height of the pandemic, and it still has not recovered because of the fear of infection. And even though it will rebound to some extent, it will probably never be where it was because people are, very skeptical about jumping into close quarters in a car with someone they don't know. And the persons that are using these rideshare services are buying vehicles for the first time in years. So there's another new sector of our market. Another new sector of our market are the people that live in, like, say, for example, downtown areas of a metro. They're actually moving back to the suburbs. And these people that did not need their own vehicle while living downtown need a vehicle while they live in the suburbs. And this is a new buying sector of the market as well. Food and grocery delivery. There's been an explosion of people buying vehicles so they can get into the lucrative home food delivery business. They need newer, dependable vehicles because many of these entrepreneurs are in their vehicles for several hours a day and they're upgrading their vehicles. This is a new sector of the market. I even know single parents that actually take their kids in the back of the car while they're out delivering vehicles. So another new sector of our market in 2021 and going into 2022. Lenders are lending again. Many lenders have more federal backing now, and they are approving loans to car buyers that would have been declined because of their credit this time last year. Lenders are giving more loans because many lenders are gaining federal backing, and they are more willing to approve loans for buyers that have horrendous credit than they were at even this time last year. Pent-up buying demand. Many people that were homebound in 2020 and even staying home at the beginning of this year have this pent-up buying demand that's already exploding. And the dealers I talk to all over the country cannot keep vehicles on the lot right now. And, that's an excellent problem that you certainly want to have. Recent economic research indicates that finances have stabilized for many middle and higher income families who have managed to work from home during the pandemic, and people in this demographic are buying vehicles. But next, I want to talk about the main reason that right now is the best time to start your dealership, because thousands of dollars of stimulus money has poured into nearly every person in the United States. So the federal government has actually approved 3 different stimulus checks, And think about this as well. July of 2021, many families started receiving $300 a month child tax credit. So if you've got a family that has, say, for example, 3 children at home, they're getting $900 a month tax credit. So these families are buying vehicles, so lenders are lending again, even to persons that weren't able to get a loan this time last year. A lot of our customers are flush with cash. And another great reason to start right now is because of what's going to happen in our industry, and it's starting to happen right now. So you're probably aware of the huge motor vehicle chip shortage. Brand new dealers are not able to get vehicles on their lot because of the chip shortage. And I've seen pictures of airport runways that have 10,000 brand new vehicles just sitting there waiting because they don't have their chips, their computer chips. So what's happening now, they are starting to get those chips back into those vehicles. And what you're going to see is a huge influx of brand new vehicles to the brand new franchisees. And, with that being said, these dealers are going to be inundated with brand new vehicles. And what's going to happen here, I predict very soon, they're going to have thousands of vehicles on their lot, and they're going to have to start advertising those vehicles. They're going to be marking down some of those vehicles. And the thing about it, I've noticed, and I've done some research on this, when the big franchisees are advertising, let's say, for example, your local Chevrolet dealer or your Toyota dealer or your Ford dealer is running massive advertising campaigns this year, used motor vehicle dealers actually reap the rewards. So there is definitely a trickle-down effect when a brand new franchisor is running advertisement. Small used dealers like us actually reap the benefits. And another thing, maybe you've talked to a dealer that's been in a dealer auction and hasn't been able to get vehicles because there hasn't been a lot of vehicles in the dealer auctions here. Well, they're coming back. And there's many reasons for this, because one of the things, a big portion of vehicles that come into the dealer auctions are rental returns. Well, the rental car companies have not been able to buy brand new vehicles, and they've been hanging on those rental vehicles. Normally, in the past, they'd always have them for about 2 years. After 2 years, they would take those rental fleets and ship them right through the dealer auctions. But right now, they've been hanging on to them because they have not been able to buy brand new vehicles to replace their inventory, their rental inventory, because there haven't been enough chips and there's not enough new vehicles. Well, now the rental car companies are having access to buy new vehicles. So those vehicles coming off their 2 and 3 year rental programs are coming through the lanes. Another thing that I've seen happen here is we have persons that lease vehicles. And there are people out there that lease a brand new vehicle every 2 years, and they never really own the vehicle. They just lease the vehicle. Well, since they haven't been able to lease a new vehicle, they've been extending their lease returns. And that's also has cut down on the inventory, that goes through the dealer auction lanes. So now a lot of them are increasing. They have increased their leases. But with that being said, now that the vehicles are coming out, we are going to start seeing those lease returns coming through the lanes. And think about these stimulus checks that our customers have gotten. In late 2020, they got a $1,200 check, then they got a $600 check. That third stimulus check gave $1,400 in relief payments to any individual that was making $75,000 or less. Even a couple that earned $150,000 got that $2,800 benefit. And so we've seen the typical average family in the United States have been flushed with cash. So this is a great time to start your dealership. Inventory is increasing again. Lenders are lending again. And listen to another podcast that we're getting ready to produce. There are, SBA loans that are basically available for any business owner in the state right now. And we got another podcast on that. If you want to take a listen to that, I certainly do invite that as well. So there are really many reasons to start that dealership right now. I really feel that 2021 and going into 2022 is really going to be one of the very best years that you could ever start or expand your dealership. And I've been in this industry for many years. I've trained thousands of dealers in a classroom environment all over the United States. And I do feel that right now is really one of the greatest times to start or expand your dealership. So if this is a business you're thinking about starting, I strongly encourage you to go for it right now. So good luck with your new business.